The Salvation Army began to serve during Superstorm Sandy, actually the week prior to the storm making landfall. 3 days before the storm actually hit, we were already serving in emergency shelters throughout the state to people who had been either voluntarily or mandatorily evacuated out of their homes.
Our people responded, our emergency disaster crews got things organized, and we got out doing the practical things that we always do, which was to bring people some kind of comfort. It begins with a physical comfort, whether it's got to be coffee or cocoa or soup, that sort of thing, blankets for warmth, but also the comfort that we bring because we're a part of the community, we're partners, but we're also Christians who come with the love of God.
The hardest part for me was actually seeing my neighbors leave the next morning with their child in hand, black garbage bag full of their belongings, maybe their dog, walking out of the neighborhood.
It was a good thing that the Salvation Army was here because they had brought sustenance of foods and cleaning supplies, survival means of materials, which was greatly needed as it had done all over the world.
One of the other very exciting things that happened was one day we received a call from territorial headquarters that they had received a donation of military-grade all-terrain vehicles from the Polaris Company.
We've been here since almost day one, from doing emergency feeding, doing sheltering throughout Ocean County. And here they've given us vehicles that we could use. In the early days here, these roads were filled with sand. We couldn't get a canteen in here to do feeding if we wanted to, but we were able to take hot chocolate and coffee, put it in containers and put it on the vehicles, and then drive them right up to the sites, right up to the homes that the folks were working on as they were getting the sand out of their houses before they could even begin the work. And a big portion of what we did, the Salvation Army is known for, is our emotional and spiritual care. Our counselors would just sit and talk with people, give them a bottle of water, a cup of hot chocolate, and then sit and talk. And in some cases it took just a few minutes, other cases it might be 30 or 40 minutes that you spend talking to somebody.
There is just a motivation there that the adrenaline flows and you just keep on going, and you can't get people to go home and they come in with a broken leg and they're going to work anyway. That sort of thing happens. And then that urgency sort of ends and the storm has quieted and the headlines have disappeared for a while, but you're left with communities of people who have just been shell-shocked by the devastation that has happened.
We're sitting in one of the emergency assistance centers right now, and the birth of the idea actually came about originally when we had an offer to do 3 statewide drives of stuff, of any kind of goods that could be used. And very quickly, at the end of day 1, they had filled up 6 ARC trucks full of stuff at these drives. And we knew that given the amount of things we'd see over the next 2 days after that first day, just giving them out at canteen sites would not be an option. So that was when the original idea for a distribution site, before anybody else was thinking of it, really came about.
They didn't give us any magic wands, and so we couldn't make things all better. But we could still be a part of the community where we can take care of some immediate needs, take care of some small things, but even more importantly, be a place to gather where someone will listen, someone will pray, someone will say, we're here and we're going to stay here, and we're going to try to help everybody move back to wholeness.
These sites were not just going to be a place where people could come and get stuff. It's much more than an assistance center, it's more of a restoration center. People can come in here and not only start to restore their lives physically in their homes or in their communities, but really restore their lives spiritually. They really needed a place where they could come and experience the great things God had in store for their lives that maybe they couldn't see at that moment, but we knew was there for them.
I just never thought I would be able to utilize their services in this way. I've always fed the can, if you will, no matter where I was at, whatever I had, I was passing it along, but I never knew I would actually use the services. And the services of the Salvation Army are just immaculate. I can't say enough, because they're always here for my family and the people here, for everybody.